Can Satanists and major religions see eye to eye? Ich glaube nicht mal, dass major religions sich eye to eye sehen können, Digga. Also, jetzt noch Satanisten dazu. Es wird schwierig, Digga. Boah, was für Musik,
I'm a Presbyterian pastor.
I'm a Hindu.
I'm Muslim.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lois. I'm a Satanist.
To be honest, when I heard of Satanist, my first reaction was something that does not align with my core beliefs.
I think of like a lot of darkness and evil and lostness.
Ja, sehr viel Lostness, sehr viel Lost.
When I think of Abrahamic faith, I think of slaughterings and burnings and mutilations, all in the name of God.
To myself, I don't actually have an image or a person or a thing that I think of when I think of Satan. The Arabic word for Satan is shaitan.
Also der sieht
He's
für mich nicht so
whispering in your
aus wie
ear,
ein,
in a sense.
wie ein richtiger Moslem. Also es kann auch sein, dass ja, aber oder jeder kann Moslem sein, Shaitan, ja.
Of trying to lead you away from God.
Tell me a little bit more about the Temple of Satan. What is that?
One of the things I like about it personally is that they are actively fighting to make sure that every religion has a chance to have a say right now in this country.
I'm approaching this
Ich
with
find's so krass, Digga, diese Sache, Digga, die sehen das so als gut. Also das ist so die Gute, wir sind alles für Liebe und das ist alles Liebe und so weiter. Digga, der Teufel ist so schlau. Also der trickt einfach die Leute, dass sie denken, dass sie so auf der guten Seite sind.
Love to ask questions
Aber nicht alles, was Liebe ist gleich gut.
More about the perspectives of the people that I'm going to be talking to.
And as for the major religions, I hope to understand why they stayed within their religion if they were born into it, or I hope to understand how they justify their beliefs.
Hell is a real place.
It is. Hindu, nicht mal.
I don't actually know, like, when I try to think of what hell looks like to me, I don't think it's how it's been in movies or people just talk about like some fiery inferno. I believe in an afterlife where there is a kind of a good place and a bad place, where what you do here kind of determines where you're going to end up.
Yeah, one of the signs that there is something greater than us out there is that we see something beautiful that we want someone to express our thanksgiving to and our worship towards. And in the same way, on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Also ich glaube, der Moslem und der Christ werden sich über sehr viel werden die zusammenstehen.
When there are terrible deeds or acts that are committed by humans towards one another, that there also needs to be a place of justice. And so I believe that there is a heaven and that there is a hell, and that the gift of grace that God offers us is so generous that for those who reject it, that there has to be a place of judgment. So yeah.
Can I get my disagreeers to come in?
Personally, I would never worship a god that would send someone to an eternal lake of fire to be burned forever for the simple fact of non-belief, when that deity knows what it would take to convince every single person on this planet. That is cruel, it is inhumane, it is...
Digga, der hört sich an wie Dracula, Digga.
Not kind, it is not generous, and that is not a god worthy of worship.
What's more, it would be damning the vast majority of everyone who's ever existed for not believing in him for a set of rules.
Aber das ist kein Grund daran, nicht zu glauben.
I feel like this presupposes
weil die es nicht verstehen können.
To burn in hell means that you don't believe in God. I'm sure that there are religions, and I know that there are people who believe that hell is a place for murderers, you know? And when I was Jewish, we didn't believe in hell. They didn't even talk about the devil. I just kind of came upon it myself. I believe that in the event that we have spirits and they will go on to some other realm, it's probably more of a nebulous place than a physical hell, lake, fire, everything.
I don't even believe we have souls necessarily. I'd like to see some evidence before I believe something like that.
I barely believe that we're even conscious, let alone, like, I'm about to have an existential crisis up here.
I think the historical Christian position is that the gift of the invitation that God gives to the people that he made is so generous and came at such a high price to him.
A high price, he gave up
that,
a weekend. He gave up a weekend.
Right.
He was God before.
Yeah, yeah.
He was God during, and he's God now. He gave up a weekend. If I knew right now that I could go off and die and then not die, where's the gift in that, number one?
I'm able to look at the grace that has been extended to me, and I receive it.
I want to make sure I can get a full set shot.
Okay, so the way that I would commonly think of it is that if I gave up the life of my own son in exchange for your life, that it is okay then for me to make the invitation that God makes towards us.
Is that moral?
Is it moral?
Is it moral? On a corporeal level.
Jesus took on the penalty that I deserved for the sins that I committed, if we're looking at the traditional Christian faith. And so I receive his gift of grace and as a payment for the things that I had done. So your question, is it moral or is it just? Is it fair? I'm able as a Christian to say, no, it's not fair because I deserve the punishment that he took on himself. Faith to me is everything. We grew up in a household of faith and learned to love Jesus and love the church and serve the church from the family that I grew up in. And so my wife and I have embraced that same life of faith, and we have taught the Christian faith to our children to understand themselves and their world because of him and his teaching.
I believe there is a higher purpose in life.
Yes.
I mean...
Guck mal, das ist so das Ding. Also, boah, es bringt dir nichts, wenn du Atheist oder Satanist bist. So, natürlich, du kannst sagen, aber es ist wirklich nicht so und ich kann daran nicht glauben. Aber es geht dir nicht gut im Kopf. Es geht dir nicht gut. Du brauchst irgendwas, was du so in deinem Leben hast, was dir einen Sinn in deinem Leben gibt. Digga, alle Satanisten, Atheisten sind alle depressiv, Digga. Die wollen sich alle umbringen, weil sie keinen Sinn im Leben finden. Also ist das wirklich gut? Ist das wirklich gut, wenn die so sagen, ja, dein Gott ist aber nicht so, der ist nicht liebend und der würde mich in die Hölle machen. Aber ist das wirklich gut, wenn du so Atheist bleibst, wo so, du gehst nach Liebe und der Teufel ist anscheinend der Gott der Liebe und was weiß ich, Digga. Aber du willst dich umbringen. Was bringt dir das?
I think I strongly believe there's a higher purpose in life. I don't think I found it yet, and I hope I would like to believe that I will one day in the journey of my life.
I completely agree. I don't know what my purpose is, and I don't think there's like a higher purpose that fits for everybody. But to me, the idea that there's some bigger purpose has always been very comforting to me. Otherwise, kind of what's the point of all of this?
Yeah. No, I fully agree. I think that I believe it's a question that we all ask, and it's one of the gifts of faith, in my opinion, so that when there's times of epidemic and war, that we're able to understand, even in those situations of difficulty and conflict and anxiety and fear, that there is a higher purpose in life, and that there's more than what we see.
I trouble with the phraseology higher purpose, because that, again, that denotes, do I believe God? No, but I do believe higher purpose as in love, to give, to be generous, to be kind, to help, to heal, to be there to understand.
The phrase higher purpose it's a loaded phrase.
I struggle with higher purpose because it's like God said,
I choose you.
Yeah, I choose you, and you are going to do this thing, and you're going to continue doing this thing for the rest of your life. And I really struggle with that.
Can I just ask, and I mean this because I received your statement with that.
You literally cannot offend me. What's up?
Come on. Just curiosity. What if everyone was committed to this idea that like in the way that you expressed it? So I would say some people that are sort of pro-religion, like I am, would say that in order for us to bind together as a culture and learn to kind of work together and help cause one another to flourish, we have to agree on some kind of higher purpose or a common set of principles.
I disagree. I don't really see a need for having a prescriptive purpose. I'm struggling to even see what you see as the value in saying that you have a higher purpose.
Maybe
der Wert eine höhere Bestimmung zu haben, ist, dass du einen Sinn in deinem Leben findest, weil du deine Sachen machst mit einem Sinn dahinter, mit einer Bestimmung dahinter, mit Liebe dahinter, mit einer Aufgabe dahinter und nicht einfach machst, ich mach's jetzt einfach, weil, keine Ahnung, warum ich es mache, weil ich mich gut fühle dabei oder weil es Liebe ist. Was ist Liebe am Ende des Tages, wenn es keine höhere Bestimmung gibt? Wenn es keine höhere Kraft gibt, die bestimmt, was gut ist und was schlecht ist. Was ist gut und was ist schlecht, ohne dass wir was Höheres haben, was uns sagt, was gut und was schlecht ist?
It's more of a fear or a concern, right? That if everyone got up every day and said that life is all about me, and that's what, and I'm not suggesting at all that that's what you're saying about.
I mean, it kind of is. Like,
It is my belief, I don't mean to interrupt either of you.
Yeah,
It is my belief that one should take care of oneself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody else will.
Yeah.
People who do take care of themselves, they understand that it is balance, and they're not going to go out and cause anarchy and mayhem in the streets.
It can even be like a selfish act to be helping the community around you. And it's still a good thing, it's still important. It doesn't take a higher purpose to make that kind of thing happen.
Warum nennt man sich aber Satanist, wenn man einfach... Die haben noch kein Wort über den Satan gesagt. Warum nennt man sich Satanist, wenn du einfach nur... Das hört sich an, als wären die Atheisten, aber was ist jetzt der Unterschied zwischen Atheist und Satanisten?
Some of the core beliefs of Hinduism is to believe in dharma, making sure that you have enough for yourself and also enough for other people. But Satan in Hinduism is like an assistant to God, someone who can cause disruption, but that is more for the benefit of human beings by and large.
What?
I believe Satan is evil.
Was? Digga.
Wait, why did you stop?
I was trying to play it out in my head, but then I realized I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Stuff, yeah.
Well, the fact that there is a Satan who is real and the fact that he is evil is, I mean, it's an important, pretty central belief that we hold in the Christian faith, and that there is a good and loving God and a Satan who is evil.
Nicht mal der Moslem. Hä? Aber warum? Hä? Glauben nicht Muslime, dass der Satan auch böse ist? Shaitan ist doch böse, oder nicht?
So let's go back to Genesis, okay? God wanted to keep humans from eating the fruit of knowledge, correct? And Satan, or the serpent, wanted to give humans that knowledge. I believe that's a good action.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
that's a good action. That's justifiable.
Okay. Wenn du ein Kind in deinem Haus lässt und jemand öffnet die Tür für dein Kind, dass es raus kann, dass es raus auf die Straße kann, dann ist es keine gute Tätigkeit, weil das Kind kann draußen nicht überleben. Das Kind kann draußen nicht überleben. Das Kind ist verloren draußen. Das Kind muss in einem Haus bleiben, damit es beschützt wird. Und das ist der Garten. Der Teufel hat Eva und Adam diese Frucht angeboten, und das ist diese Tür raus aus dem Garten. Gott hat das gesagt, die sollen das nicht essen, als Beschützung. Er wollte sie beschützen. Weil die noch nicht bereit sind. Die sind nicht bereit für dieses Wissen. Deswegen wollte er sie beschützen. Aber nein, Satan hat die Tür geöffnet, dass Adam und Eva raus können aus dem Haus. Das ist keine gute Tat.
The first person to advocate for equal rights.
Yes. We only heard God's perspective, and from my perspective, I mean, just looking into the Bible, it's like we didn't hear Satan's perspective. Maybe he said, God is a tyrannical God, and I'm going to rebel from him, and I'm going to become a fallen angel to help mankind.
My interpretation and understanding of that story is that God created an environment where and it was an environment of love and peace, and where his children that he created and who he loved, who he created in his image would...
They were naked and they didn't have understanding.
Yeah, and that this was an environment for them to...
Wait, we gotta hear his whole point.
To flourish. And so he puts them in this environment, and he desires for them to flourish and to live in unashamed relationship with him and his perfection and his glory
Naked and stupid.
I see God making simple playthings because he's bored, if it's real then, and then saying, don't do this because I don't want you on my level. And if you do, I have to make sure you can't live forever so you really don't get on my level.
Would you think that if you heard that one of your friends was having a baby and you'd say, oh, you're just making a plaything for your...
That's
Depending
different.
on their
That's
intention
different.
of having the baby,
but
There are
Is
some
it
parents
different?
who use their kids as their playthings.
Yeah.
But that's how I see the same generative love that out of which God created us.
I think for me, from as much knowledge as I have about Satan, I think Satan is a symbol of freedom and liberty, right?
What?
So that is not evil. Of course, like we discussed before, if
Freedom?
you commit wrong deeds in the name of Satan, then that's wrong.
For me, I flip-flopped a little only because I don't think that on his own Satan is evil. I think he's used to represent evil. Whether he does or not, that's what he's used for. His character is very much used to say, like, you do something wrong, like, oh, that's an act of, like, the devil, kind of.
Satan represents to me taking responsibility for your own actions. It says to thirst for knowledge, for understanding, to understand that man is an animal, sometimes worse than those around, but an animal nonetheless.
Digga, der Typ ist so in seinem Film, Digga, der Typ ist in einem Blockbuster, Digga, what?
I consider myself a good person.
No. Nobody. Warum geht der Christ nach vorne? Bro, keiner ist gut außer Gott. Keiner ist gut außer Gott.
I really think good and bad is objective because does everyone love me? No. There are people who absolutely wish me dead, and that's okay. Maybe I deserve it from them. I don't know. But on the other hand, you know, I help little old ladies across the street, and I give to the poor, and I give time and energy, and so is that good? Maybe it outweighs the bad.
It's that constantly striving to be better in whatever means that is, but a moving forward sense, not just staying stagnant in, I'm this and I'm going to stay this way all the time.
Yeah, it's an active pursuit, like you have to do it every single day.
Completely.
No, I do believe that being good is in these minute, like, little actions, these micro actions that you do every single day.
I'm intrigued, do you guys base it more on your intentions or more on your actions?
I think it's both, but intention is really important.
Yes.
It is. Because sometimes you do something thinking that it's going to be a good thing, but it turns out to be disastrous. But as long as you had a good intention in it, I feel like it's
Like
not...
to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
How many people do good things because they think that's what people expect good things to be?
Yeah, and for me, I would just hope that my faith would be born out in acts of kindness and mercy and compassion and charity. And I know that doesn't necessarily come from me, but I believe that I'm a good person because of who God has made me to be.
I think you're a good person because you're a good person. I also think you're more moral than the God of the Bible. I think you're a genuinely good person, and I think you're better than the Bible.
I think there's good in everybody.
Bitte hau auf.
Maybe sometimes it's deep within. But I do think that at their core,
Jesus hat nie eine
everybody's a
Sünde
good person.
begangen.
I respect all religions.
All?
I don't respect all religions.
All? I respect you if you're a good person and you're doing, you know, if you think your religion is great, but I mean, there's probably a religion out there that I'm going to say that's not okay.
I mean, I'm saying I respect all religions in the sense of the ones that I know of. I guess there's some obscure thing that I'm not aware of that really does stand for horrible things I don't agree with. My answer will change.
Yeah, I think whatever you want to store your faith in, and if it helps you,
Safe. Also respektieren, safe. Also ich kann alle Religionen respektieren. Ja, safe.
To unite with other people, of course, I'm sure we all respect that, and that helps you lead your life.
Though I have committed my life and future to a religion that believes that it is the right and the only way, you know, I also believe, I respect people and love people and believe in people's freedom to choose.
Even in Islam, in the Quran, we have this one chapter. What it talks about is the respecting of other people's religions. Like your religion is for you, and my religion is for me, and like my religion is mine, and your religion is yours, and like that's okay in a sense. We're separate from each other.
Also,
preaching
okay,
that respect for one another.
Wir wollen jetzt keine Debatte daraus starten, okay? Deswegen lasse ich jetzt mal meinen Mund geschlossen.
It's a platitude of all religions to say, I respect your religion, I respect your religion, I respect your religion, but you're all saying, oh, I respect your right to have that religion, but then internally you're saying, Allah is the only God, Jesus is not God. Vishnu, Krishna, these are gods, these are deities. Jesus Christ is the only way, he is the answer, he is the only one. I'm right, you're all wrong, but I'm going to be nice about it.
I think that there's a difference between believing that somebody else's religion is wrong and respecting it. I feel like you can have respect and still disagree.
Ja. Also ich glaube, der islamische Glaube ist falsch, aber ich habe trotzdem muslimische Freunde. Ich kann trotzdem mit denen reden, ich kann trotzdem mit denen über Religion reden, ich kann trotzdem mit denen über Glauben reden, ich kann trotzdem mit denen, keine Ahnung, normal Spaß haben und so weiter. Ich glaube, dass ihre Religion falsch ist, aber trotzdem mag ich die. So, ich mag die einfach als Person, so. Das sind immer noch meine Freunde.
And that's where I'm kind of coming from. And I disagree with all of you guys on your religious beliefs. But of course, everybody disagrees on their religious beliefs.
I think we all disagree with each other to a certain extent.
But we can all live in harmony and we can
respect the other person's views.
Satanism is a newer religion. I mean, the Satanic Temple, obviously extremely new.
Yeah, very.
Church of Satan, as run by Anton LaVey, very new.
Aleister Crowley still with
Church of Satan. Das ist so, Bro. Der Satan verkleidet sich als Engel des Lichts. Der Satan ist so ein Typ, der lässt sich denken, du machst das Gute. Du bist auf der guten Seite und er ist der Gute und du machst einfach nur, du preachst Liebe und alle sollen sich lieben und es ist doch nichts Schlimmes dabei. Ich verurteile dich nicht. Aber am Ende des Tages, was ist Liebe? Ist Liebe wirklich, ich lass dich machen, was du willst? Oder ist Liebe wirklich, stopp mal, das ist nicht gut für dich? Ist es wirklich Liebe, wenn ich meinem dicken Freund sage, mach weiter so und leb so, wie du willst und mach, was du willst? Oder ist es wirklich Liebe, wenn ich ihm sage, nein, stopp, hör auf und fang an, Sport zu machen? Weil ich glaube, das Zweite ist wirklich wahre Liebe. Und die von diesem Satan-Ding, die glauben, dass Liebe einfach nur das Erste ist, um zu sagen, ich lasse jeden machen, was er will, und einfach nur so lange Leute Liebe zeigen und was weiß ich. Und der christliche Glaube ist, ich sage Leute, das ist falsch, was die machen, die sind Sündiger und wir brauchen Jesus, der uns mit all seinem Herzen liebt und für uns ans Kreuz gegangen ist, um für unsere Sünden zu zahlen. Ich hoffe, euch hat das Video gefallen. Schreibt mal eure Meinung in die Kommentare und ja, wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. God bless.